What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table, we have another Game of Thrones card game, 2nd edition tournament video for you. Brought to you by these amazing people that back the channel and help support us here at Rob's Gaming Table. Without them, this video wouldn't happen. We got Francis playing Targ, trading with the Qohor. Again, we saw him in the last video against Tom playing Stark, Reigns, and Castemere. Let's see if Francis's interesting Targ Qohor deck can do some magic here in this game. If you guys haven't seen the previous game, go back and check it out. All the games from this series are in a playlist and many other playlists of Game of Thrones on Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube, so go check those out. We got more Thrones coming up too in this series. The top 8 is coming up after one more Swiss game, I believe. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little alarm bell button to be notified when those videos go live. We got Bran, a Winterfell Steward, and 2 Northern Armories. Not a bad setup at all. 4 cards for the Stark player, plus 2 economy locations. And on the other side, we got a duped Drogon, Viserion, and an Illyrio's Estate. It's not bad setups on either side. We got trading into Time of Plenty, so 3 gold will be gained by the Stark player. And both players are going to draw an extra card during the draw phase thanks to Time of Plenty. So the Targ player has chosen the Stark player to go first here. And 9 gold. They just mentioned there the Qohor player doesn't have an attachment in place, so an extra gold is gained thanks to the downside of the Qohor agenda. Stark player benefiting with an extra gold there. So the Stark player doesn't expect that much gold, so he's not sure what to do with it, he says here. Just going to have to play more of his Stark big dudes, I guess. We will see, though. He's got a Rose Road there for a limited, so he's definitely getting nice gold going forward. He's got 3 gold-generating locations already in turn 1 here. And we got Arya Stark coming out there, triggering, of course, getting to put a card under her face down to give her a dupe. And she gains a military icon off of that.
Yeah. Someone you don't want to put there.
Is that Daisy Mormont in hand for 4. So she is X strength, so I think she's 4 strength right now, but we may have another Stark character coming. And it's the big bad Bear Island Loyalist. Who are just great because that little loyal icon when you play Breaking Ties. And a Wildling Scout to give some stealth after you sack them. So an interesting board here on the Stark side of things, and it's because it's a Reigns deck, I'm sure we're going to see some interesting cards played here. So we got a Targ Loyalist on the other side, bringing in a Targ Loyalist off of the Illyrio's Estate, and then we got a duped Khal Drogo.
That guy. All right. So.
And we got a milk on Daisy. So she is just in X strength, which is nothing now. But she still can go in challenges, though, and add her renown to the challenge. And then we got a Handmaiden. So all Corset cards are just pointed out there by Francis on his side of the board. The Targ player is just playing Corset cards here. He didn't buy any chapter packs and came to the tournament here. Except for he's got that agenda. I don't know who lent him that agenda. That's not from the Corset. Or that plot. So we got Jogo getting hit on the intrigue claim there from the Wildling Scout. Definitely not enough for a range trigger, though, that's for sure. But, I mean, from playing Reigns before at a Greyjoy a lot, range trigger on first turn isn't really the biggest thing. And I'm assuming Stark, yeah, they do have big intrigue bodies now, I guess, with Wyman helping out. But sometimes just with your character base, you're just not going to see enough intrigue to get that Reigns off, especially against houses that are loaded with intrigue. But across the board right now, only the Handmaiden's the only intrigue there, and she's a 1 strength. So this could very quickly get out of control for the Stark player if he gets some intrigue bodies on the board.
Military?
Now we got a military with Arya. And he's going to stealth Drogon, trying to force a defense here with Khal Drogo. And he's going to look at his plots here to think ahead. He still has a gold. He's got Dragon standing. And he's not sitting on a Dracarys. So that will go unopposed. He loses a Targ Loyalist. I mean, maybe he didn't want to use a Dracarys yet, which, you know, sometimes makes sense. Using it later on a smaller board might make more sense. But, I mean, Arya's a good character. She's not a bad one to burn. Especially when you know he's probably playing 3 copies of her. He's only seen 1. So now an intrigue coming in from the other side, I think, with the Handmaiden here. And that will go unopposed. And we got the hand shuffle. We see a winner is coming. We see a Nightmares. I think we saw a Fast Eddie in there. There is a winner is coming. Hit on the intrigue claim. That is a huge hit. Well, it's nice when you see those go to the discard pile not being played. And now military with Khal Drogo. First military. And then we're getting a Nightmares on Khal Drogo, baiting him down and making sure he doesn't get to do a second one. And the Bear Island Loyalist is going to block the unopposed. And Dacey's going to die. So she's obviously a one of. He probably has no way to get rid of attachments in that case. And that is the only attachment out there for the Qohor player right now. So him not using Qohor to sack it, which he didn't want to do, just puts him at the no attachments again, and he'll be giving another gold to his opponent at the start of the next round. Or in marshalling, actually. So we have a Northern Armory standing a Bear Isle Loyalist here in turn 1.
Well, until I get more enticing targets for Starfall.
Yep.
And Dominus goes to the Targ player. And on to another round.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Alright, we got time of plenty into heads on spikes. Stark player gets to choose his first player here.
I'm sure every card in your deck is good. So, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what I pull, every card is good.
Fair enough. Would you like to do a military challenge? Through your own options.
Yeah, or something that you're stealing. You can go first.
So the Targ player has chosen to go first by the Stark player. Heads on spikes, going to hit Viserys, which is good. Pretty good hit, I think. Getting 2 power off it and protect some of your own attachments, I guess. But now, since the Targ player is going first, if he can get an attachment out there, he'll prevent the other player from gaining an extra gold. And there's an attachment seized by the guard to stop that Northern Armory for 3 more turns, most likely. Unless he chooses to sack it later for Qohor. And we get Rhaegal played out there now. Just needs 7 cost Danny to make an appearance, which we know Francis is playing based on the last video.
Doesn't provide any gold. Right. Spikes.
I will use Rhaegal's challenges action, returning a Sansa character to my hand, getting my Martell character relatively costly play to my hands.
So 6 gold to work with on the Stark side. Yeah, I think he's got a Fast Eddie in there. He's got a Winterfell Steward. A couple Stark locations. Looks like a Gates of the Moon. There's that Winterfell Steward. And we got Winterfell on the board, giving a +1 bump to all the all the Stark characters. It's just a lot of weenies, basically. And there's the Gates of the Moon for the limited. We have a last Hearth in play. And Francis is going to read that. Well, I'm going to look it up also. I don't remember exactly what that one does.
You already know my challenger?
It's just that. It's kind of right.
Yeah. You already know what it is.
Entry. 4 strength. Yep.
So last Hearth is action. Kneel last Hearth to give a participating start character +2 strength to the end of the challenge, +3 instead if there are fewer than 3 plots in your use pile.
You played it wrong. You couldn't stand last turn.
I stood loyalist.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, I think everything is start early.
Yeah.
They're there just for their stuff.
A certain amount of sense. That will go on post.
So still no intrigue big bodies here for the Stark player to even use reins yet. And no tricks with dire wolves to bring him into play yet that we see. And since the only intrigue icon we see is the Wildling Scout, he's not getting strength buffs off anything because all the strength buffs are like Stark only. So I think we're on the Targ player doing challenges here. I don't know if that Loyalist, or sorry, the Handmaiden has gone in on a challenge.
How many cards in hand? 18. Military. I guess I will stealth Randall and distribute military icon again. Alright. Reaction play. And your dominance? Yep.
Military.
So we have a military with Viserion for 2. Yeah, looks like he's just going to throw the barrel on Loyalist in front of it for 3.
You win?
Yep.
Military at 4.
And a 4 strength military. Second military here with Drogon. That'll go unopposed. And you'll claim a Winterfell Steward is kneeling there. He's going to sack Seized by the Guard to do Qohor here.
Aw.
To milk Arya.
Next turn.
And because that Arya loses a military icon and stealth. And now we have power with Khal Drogo, blocked by the Winterfell Steward, so preventing unopposed. He'll get claim and renown.
Oh yeah, that happens.
So the Targ players at 4 power, Stark players sitting at 3. And now the Stark player will do his challenges.
You will go first.
Power 3.
3 strength power challenge with Arya, goes unopposed.
So I'm going first.
Claim.
Gotcha. Roger.
Dom is you.
What did you think I was going to reveal?
And dominance to the Targ player.
We have no idea. Possibly exchange of information.
2 cards.
Alright, so pirates are like working as well.
Time for wolves.
First player?
You can go first.
We'll do time for wolves. Summer.
So time for Wolves getting Summer there. On the other side we have, I think it's a Summons getting Dany. He does have enough to put her into play. Off of the Loyalists, the 2 Illyrio's Estates, and the gold from the plot.
Or could use a better entry back on. Stupid starts.
So I think this Stark deck, I did play him in the tournament. This is Tom from my local meta. He did, I know he's got Wyman in there. I'm pretty sure he's got Fat Cat in the deck. I think, but I might be wrong. But he's saying he wishes he could see some bigger intrigue icons, and struggling in that department. Oh, and he's got the Gates of the Moon. The Targ player's gaining off of his opponent's Gates of the Moon there, so he's got an extra gold. So he'll still have a spare gold after putting Danny into play if he goes that route. And he's got a dupe of Danny. And a Beggar King on Danny. So that's showing if a Valardo Harris comes out, most likely Danny's going to stick around, unless Beggar King just gets sacked for a Qohor. And with that summer pull, I think he got Daisy back in hand there, which is a nice play. So he wasn't. That's why he wasn't so worried about killing her earlier when she had the milk on her. And the Stark player matches big dude for big dude. We got Fast Eddie into play. And looks like 2 gold saved on the Stark side.
Nope. That's not on camera. So, intrigue, stealth.
So in intrigue, Danny has the stealth, the renown, and the stand ability off Rygel right now. And she's going to come in stealth. And we get no triggers because of Winterfell being triggered there. So Danny's not going to be able to stand. That's an unopposed intrigue, so we get an unopposed power off that. Gets Stacy out of hand to the discard pile. And he's going to get Insight and Renown. And after the challenge, he's going to do an action with the Handmaiden to stand Danny, sacking her.
Regarding the realm, can only pick one person. It's going to be Raider.
That's the idea. That'll be it for my Marshal. Do you have a pre-challenge action?
Let me be careful about his ability. He doesn't bounce people. He just removes them from the challenge. He's so insane.
You're right, actually. It would stop.
So pre-challenge anything?
Nope. I assume you're going to give me a 5 strength iron throw.
Well, the guy was military, I can for sure.
So it looks like the Targ Qohor player is debating doing any more challenges here, I think. Boards are getting kind of wide. He's got to work out what he can get through here, what's going to be coming back at him from the other side of the board.
This one on defense, it's raised generally, right?
Yep.
Right now, this gives
Not
us 3,
just,
right?
yep. So he has to participate.
Yeah, and there's calculating of the strength. Got to keep in play. Winterfell giving a +1 bump. Last Hearth, still less than 3 plots, so it's giving a +3 bump to a Stark character if he chooses to trigger it.
Military.
So now military with Rygel for 3.
3. Right. Effectively 4 plus on minus. Math.
So looks like Francis is going to go the route of doing a couple military challenges probably to try to whittle down his opponent's board or at least get him to kneel out some stuff. So that way he has less to hit back with. Less chance of Fast Eddie winning a couple challenges, standing off the Northern Armory. And the Barrow Island Loyalist is going to block for 2. It's +1 from Winterfell, but -1 from Danny. And Winterfell Steward will go away for claim. And we have a big power challenge here with Danny stealthing Bran, and Drogon and Viserion coming in for help. 12 strength power challenge. Is he sitting on a Spear of Claim or something here? What's going on? Sure he has an attachment he can bring into play that benefits off of So Nightmares Khal Drogo.
And Nightmares Rhaegal.
And Rhaegal gets a Nightmares also. So he can't just stand Danny back up.
And defend for 3.
3 strength defense.
Keyword, not keyword.
Claim.
So claim 1 power.
Yeah.
It's going to get Renown. No Renown on Drogo because he's blanked. And Danny will draw off Insight. So no crazy Qohor trigger or anything there.
Intrigue or 2.
Now an Intrigue from the other side with the Wildling Scout. And that'll go unopposed. You grab a Mother of Dragons there on the discard. I believe that's which one that is.
Military.
Now military with Fast Eddie and Summer. 11 strength. No defenders.
Opposed. Claim.
Oh, he's going to stand Eddie.
Power.
He's going to do a power challenge with Bran.
9.
And a Superior Claim. Oh boy. Gonna have some good power gain here. 2 off Superior Claim. We get unopposed. We get Fast Eddie's Renown and Fast Eddie's ability.
1 off.
Wow. Stark player just caught up to be 1 power away from winning, it sounds like. We just count the piles there. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. Targ player looked in control. He decided to go a little aggressive there, and it did burn him a little bit. And the Stark player was able to capitalize. So that Northern Armory doing work. And able to control Danny's stand there, I think, was helpful. And stopping Khal Drogo, getting extra military in, and Khal Drogo's Renown was pretty huge, slowing the Targ player down. And we have you win or you die on the Targ side into confiscation on the Stark side. So Targ player has chose himself to go first. He's going to get rid of the milk off of Arya with the confiscation.
Oh, you might King of the North, so it's going to get rid of the crown. Redraw. Redraw 2.
Oh, looks like the Stark player's top decking, though. Did he get what he needs? Can he stop the Targ player from possibly pushing to the win here? The Targ player can get a bunch of stand tricks going. He could close it out. There's the Mother of Dragons on Danny.
Oh yeah, she can jump in with the dragon. Okay.
So yeah, they're just reading Mother of Dragons there. Basically, Danny can jump in on a challenge where there's an attacking dragon.
I know that one.
Or I guess just a participating dragon, so it can be on defense or offense.
I have that one in my.
I think we just got a breaker to change put on Danny there.
Absolutely correct.
So she's getting a +2 strength buff off the 2 cost or less characters he controls. Now a 3 strength buff from another Targ loyalist. And 3 gold saved on the Targ side. Over to the Stark player for his marshalling. 2 cards in hand. We see a ward. But he's not going to be able to take any of those dragons. They're all no attachments. So he could ward a Targ loyalist, but I don't think that's the best use of a ward. But he's going to do it. It is a body you can use for military claim against Drogo, I guess.
feeling is if I'm giving you a headache by the end of the game, it's a moral victory.
And we have a lady.
That's absolutely true.
On.
And Arya gets the lady.
And 4.
4 gold saved on the Stark side. 3 gold saved on the Targ side. Any challenge actions? Doesn't sound like it. Let's see what the Targ player starts with. Intrigue stealthing the Wildling Scout. And that's going to drop an Eerie into play, bestowing for 2. And Winterfell is going to react off after that, blocking any triggers. That'll go unopposed, so an unopposed power gain. 5 power away for the Targ player. No claim, of course, no cards left. We got Renown, putting him 4 away, and an insight draw.
You deal Mother of Dragons to participate?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have an action.
Yeah.
It's going to take, use the Bestow trigger thing off of Eerie there to stand Dany. After the challenge, of course, since Winterfell only prevents triggers till the end of the challenge if you don't have a winter plot. He's got to be careful here. He's got to stealth out Eddie. Make sure he doesn't just jump in and gain a renown on defense. No cards left in hand for the Stark player, so no tricks that we can see. I think he's got to be careful here. So he's going to Mother of Dragons to put Dany in the challenge. Doesn't have to kneel. And she gets all the Breaker of Chains buffs, so it's a big military here. Not sure what strength he said. 5. And she's standing, so the -1 across the board. So 7 from the Dragons, plus 5 from Dany. Plus the buff off Breaker of Chains of 3. Looks like he doesn't have a card in hand to trigger Breaker Chains.
I know. Yeah.
She's 4, yeah.
15. This is 15.
Blood Orange Groves, Greenwood Trader, Trigger.
I win.
Last card. And there's the +2.
So he bumps Eddie up. 17 on the defense, it sounds like. Uh-oh. I don't think Francis expected that, but it sounds like he might have a Dracarys in hand. He does. Oh, it's just going to sack Bran. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, did he just walk into a loss here? Did he not have stealth on Dany? I guess no, he didn't because he brought her in after. And yeah, Bran's going to sack, trying to target Arya. That's too bad. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think he did just give away the game there. That's too bad. Francis, what are you doing? He's doing pretty good at counting out strength and making sure he was covered, but I think he forgot about the location at the bottom maybe. Maybe he forgot about Bran also. Yeah, that's too bad. That is too bad. Yeah, he definitely should have put Khal Drogo in there, maybe recalculate how he's doing things. Yeah, it looks like the Targ player might have been able to close it there with all his stand triggers, Khal Drogo extra challenges, maybe, but he's just got to dance around fast Eddie. That's the problem. Anyways, guys, got more Thrones coming up on the channel. Subscribe, hit that like button if you want to see more Thrones. Either way, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.